All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Geek Culture Congress. Once again, our special friend, our industry scooper himself, we're here to talk about a little bit something different than when I normally have him on here. Welcome once again to Mr. Mikey Sutton, geekocitymag.com. Welcome once again, sir, to the show. How you been?
I've been great, and it feels like I haven't been to the show since I was 12. Well,
I think it's been a year. Yeah, I think it's been a year. You're on Sil Abdul's YouTube channel now.
that
You're still
was,
doing
yeah.
you're still
Yeah,
doing with TiVo over there,
yeah,
and
TiVo, yeah.
TiVo over there, and Lords of the
We're
Long Box. I
going.
love that show.
Oh, he's great. In fact, he's a
Yeah.
character in my comic book now. So,
Yes.
uh,
And that's exactly why I'm here, Mikey. I really like to focus on
yeah,
independent creators.
sure.
Like I even I'll even go to local cons and just get in front of them with a camera and let them talk about their show, their project. Whether it be a novel, a
Mm-hmm.
movie, comic book. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that you've been working on this pet project for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You started the geekocitymag.com and that took off with your scoops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and everybody knows you for that. But I really want to get into what we're here about, which is the Dreamwalker comic,
Mm-hmm.
and it is available now, right, for pre-order, right?
Yeah, secondskincomics.com. You can uh, place your remaining orders there. The book is almost sold out on the site. Um, but there's still copies left. I would, if you're planning on getting, I would get it now, because the second printing will have a different cover. And this is a very limited edition. Now there are variant covers that are going to be available. From Natalie Sanders, which there she is right
Oh yeah,
there.
I love that cover. I'm actually probably
Yeah,
gonna get that cover,
gorgeous
and then
cover.
yeah, and then also there's the Virgin incentive. We gotta have a Virgin incentive. Why not, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So tell me and tell everyone.
Yeah,
I know we talked about this. I think we talked about this when you were actually working on it in a beta version of it. Before we
yeah,
had you on the
yeah.
show. But for everyone who doesn't even know what the heck Dreamwalker's about, why this comic book, the inspiration, and what's it all about?
Sure. Well, this comic book I have been planning on for, I believe, 2008. No, no, before my stroke. So I've been planning this book since 2016. Originally, it was supposed to be a shoujo comedy. Shoujo is Japanese girl comics,
Mm-hmm.
and it's supposed to be like a funny book, like Rama One Half. I'm heavily influenced by Rumiko Takahashi.
Right.
Um, and she wrote Ranma One Half, and my favorite was Maison de Koku. I was a pretty big manga fan back in early 2000s or so. I loved her work, and I really wanted to do something in that style, but I ran into an unfortunate problem, dude. Like, I tried writing this comedy script
Mm-hmm.
about a girl who can walk through people's dreams, and I thought, wow, this is a basis for a really good comedy here. Um, and really, the inspiration for the her powers came from a song by the Candy Skins, this alternative rock band from 1991. They had a song called "Submarine Song," and there's a line in the song where it goes, "And I walk through your dreams," and I'm like, that sounds what a cool idea. You know what I mean? Like walking through people's dreams, right? Like that song stuck with me for over 30 years because of that damn line. Because I was like, wow, what if I had the power to walk through people's dreams? And then, like over decades, it's been like haunting me this whole time. And I was like, there is a story in that one line in that song. Um, then all of a sudden, like around 2016 or so, I thought about writing a comic book with that premise in mind. I said, what if a teenage girl had that power to walk through people's dreams? And I thought about all the comedic ways that I can explore it. And dude, it just wasn't funny. I mean, I kept rewriting the script over and over again. It wasn't working.
Right.
Um, this guy named Noel Leon Flores. I had no idea who he was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea this guy is the biggest visual designer on television in the Philippines. I had no clue. I didn't even look him up or anything, right? Um, I posted a scoop on my Facebook page. No one knew who I was, and I had very maybe 1,000 friends at most,
Right. Hmm.
most of which were music-oriented people, alternative music people. They weren't even comic book people. So I said I got this scoop that Voltus 5, this late 70s Japanese anime, is going to be turned into a live-action show in the Philippines. Um, so I posted it on my Facebook page. This guy named Noel Leon Flores messaged me. He goes, "Yeah, you're correct with this scoop. In fact, I've just been hired to design it." And I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, you're working for the GMA network, and like I had no idea. I just like you don't know. People send you friend requests. You have no idea
Hmm.
who they are, right?
Right, right, right.
Um, and so I added him, and we messaged each other back and forth. And in fact, here, let me show you some designs. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
just don't share them. Like, okay.
yeah.
So anyway, he sent me pre-production designs on Voltus 5. And he's like, "Don't share them with anybody else." I'm like, "Okay, I won't." But damn, I can't believe I have this, right?
Right.
And so anyway, he says that I really like your work, and maybe we can work together sometime. Like really? And like yeah, on a comic book or something. I said, "Wow, okay, that sounds great." Um, so a few months later, I told him I had this comic book idea I wanted to do. I didn't tell him what the idea was. I just said, "Hey, I want to do a comic book with you." And he goes, "Yeah, I'm very interested. Let's do this." So around 2018, I was seriously writing the script. It just wasn't working, dude. And then September 10th of 2018, I had a stroke. I had a massive stroke.
Right.
I was in the hospital. I was about an hour away from dying. If my mother hadn't come home on time, I would have died on the floor of my bedroom because there's no one. I couldn't move.
Wow.
Literally could not move. So I was in the hospital. Yeah, I made it through. But they told me that I might not be able to write ever again
Goodness. Okay.
because I couldn't really move my hands
I see.
unless I can write by phrasing words. But I just couldn't.
Hmm.
I can't write that way.
Right.
Um, so I had to learn how to use my hands again. At the time, I couldn't walk. It's like my life was a shambles, right?
Right.
Um, so I spent until late October. I remember Venom came out while I was still in rehab. I remember that, and so I got back the use of my hands. I was starting to type again. It was slow, but at least I was able to type, right? And eventually, around November, I learned how to walk again. And it was at that time my mother was watching this Filipino soap opera called Onanay. And I don't watch Filipino soap operas. Come on, you know me, I don't watch that stuff.
Right.
But I just sat down. I was walking. I was practicing on how to walk without using a walker. And so I sat down and I saw it, and I saw this beautiful girl on this show, and I'm like, "Who is that?" Like I was just like really taken aback, and
Hmm.
I met actresses in person. I met Melissa Benoist, Chloe Bennett, so many. So I'm not easily phased by beauty, right? But this girl just knocked me for a loop. I'm like, who's that? Like, and so I that same night, dude, I posted her picture on my Facebook, and the first person who messaged me was Noel Leon Flores again, that artist I was telling you about. He goes, "Hey, I know her
Right.
personally.
Oh, there you go.
I worked on her show." I'm like, "Oh,
It's just all working out. And everything's
it's the stars are
everything's
aligning, right?
connecting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy,
Everything's
right?
interconnecting. Right.
Yeah, it's weird, right?"
Yeah.
And so he sent me a picture of him and her on the set of the show. Um, and I'm like, he goes, "You want to talk to her?" I said, "Well, excuse me." Like, yeah, you want to interview her? Like, oh, hell yeah! So he got me in touch with her handler, and he goes, "Here's her number, and you can set up an interview." And like, wow, I couldn't believe my ears, right? And so, um, and he said about that comic book, "Do you still want to work on it?" I said, "Yeah, sorry, I had my stroke and everything, and
Right.
but I still want to work on it." It's like, okay, and so, um, I set up an interview with her that same week. I discovered her and interviewed her the same week. That's how crazy this is. The article on her. Um, at the time, check this out.
Hmm.
Marvel was casting Kate Bishop at the time.
Right.
And I posted that in my article. I said, I told my contacts there's this actress named Kate Valdez in the Philippines. She'd be the perfect Kate Bishop. Because check this out. They were gonna cast an Asian to play Kate Bishop.
Right.
Specifically a Filipina. And I'm like, oh my god, I know like the perfect person for this. Um, so she didn't get the role, but guess who did? Haley Steinfeld, who is Filipina. So
Hmm.
the scoop was right on the dot. They did get a Filipina to play Kate Bishop. Um, but so talking to her, talking to Kate Valdez, I should say, um, and just getting to know her, and I was like, huh. I mean, she's my character. She's the character that I had no face for. I had no face for who this character was. I just knew it was a Filipina, and she's a vlogger, and she can walk through people's dreams. That's all I knew. And I was making this funny script, and just wasn't clicking. Then during my phone conversations with Kate Valdez, she told me, "Do you watch Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix?" I said, "No, I haven't seen it. And I've been wanting to see it, but I haven't watched it." She goes, "You should really see it because it's a great show." And she highly recommended the show to me, right?
Well.
Like,
Okay.
okay, so that night I watched it, I got hooked, and I started thinking, I've been trying to write this comic book as a comedy. Why don't I just turn it to horror?
Yeah.
So
Horror's
yeah, so
better.
horror's better, right? And it's
Yeah.
my natural style, right? I've written horror stories before.
Okay.
Um, so I sat down. I said, okay, I'm gonna take this entire premise. I'm gonna take most of this plot and flip it around and make it into horror. Now I'm not sure most people know this, but Alien, the original Alien film,
That's right.
was originally a comedy called Dark Star. If
Really?
you watch John Carpenter's
Wow.
Dark Star, it's a film he made while he was a film student. I think at UCLA. I think he was. Dan O'Bannon, who wrote Alien, wrote Dark Star. He's actually in the film. He gets attacked by a giant alien beach ball. But anyway, I mean, um, Dark Star is a hilarious comedy with the same plot as Alien.
Wow. Okay.
Okay? So you'll see the similarities, right? But he turned Dark Star into a horror film. So I was thinking, I'm gonna dark star this. I'm gonna that comedy script. I'm gonna turn it into horror. And I wrote the script in a week. It just wrote itself. Um, and then using Kate Valdez as the model for the character.
Right.
And I emailed the script to Noel. He liked it a lot, and he said, "You know what? That opening. Why don't you make it more epic?" I said I could, but I was thinking that's a lot for you to draw. He goes, "No, don't worry about me. The most important thing is the story, right?" Like, okay. So I rewrote the first part and made. There's a very violent bus crash in the opening of the story that changes to me the whole book, which is just brilliant. His idea is brilliant. Um, and then we were off to the races, dude, right? And then he got really busy with Voltus 5, which is now this multi-million-dollar robot show on Philippine television. Well, it's coming out later this year. The trailer is on YouTube. If you guys want to see Voltus V Legacy, it's actually Voltus 5. If you want to pronounce it, but if you want to look it up, it's Voltus V Legacy. The trailer's there. It's spectacular. It looks like Transformers.
Wow.
He
Excellent.
designed that show.
Excellent.
So he was working on that while he was drawing my comic book. Um, so what is Dreamwalker about? Dreamwalker is about the only survivor of a bus crash. That after the accident, she discovers she has the ability to walk through people's dreams. Her name is Kat, after Kate, of course. Um, and she can steal objects from people's dreams and use them as weapons to fight against monsters and demons and such. So she can survey her surroundings and go through people's dreams. And like, oh, there's an ancient sword Like somebody is dreaming of an ancient sword, I'm gonna steal it. I'm gonna use it against this, this monster or whatever. But as soon as that person wakes up, though, it disappears. So she has a
I see.
limited time, like holding or using these objects, right? Then you get into the whole morality of it. Is like, is this ethical? Because it's an invasion of privacy. You're going to you see everything, right?
Right.
And
Everything.
everything, and what people dream of is could be something they've experienced or thinking about. So it's a very personal space that you're invading there. We will get into that in later issues, the psychology of what she's doing. Um, but it's a dark horror book. It's very, very dark. Um, I wanted to take a lot of these childhood folk tales I heard as a
Right.
kid and
A
put it.
lot of the inspiration you had told me that is a
Oh
lot
yeah,
from Philippine folktales, and
oh yeah, all of
um,
it, all
yeah.
of it. Yeah, just
So
stuff I used to
tell us a little
hear.
more of that for anybody who doesn't have any idea
Yeah.
what those stories entail.
Sure. I'm working on issue number 2 right now, which is
Hmm.
about Balete Drive, which is it's a haunted area in the Philippines.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I was a kid, we drove through there, and I was scared out of my pants. Right? I just remember being in the car, and they told me to cover my eyes because the lady in white might show up. Um, and there are these trees there that look pretty evil. Okay, and these trees they actually will strangle other trees. I kid you not, they will
Oh
strangle
wow.
other trees. And I had no idea they did this until after I had written the book already, which is like, wow, this is really creepy after all. I mean, it's beyond just folk tales. There's some weird science going on here, right?
Right.
Um, so apparently there's this lady in white that appears in front of drivers randomly when you go through that area at night. And it's been decades now. This myth. Well, maybe it's not a myth, right? Um, but
Maybe
I
it's
just
not.
remember as a kid in the back seat of my car, just freaking out, right, thinking that that lady in white's gonna show up, and that's all over the second issue. Like everything that I was feeling at the time, it's still going on. That belief, the lady in white is still there. It's that people still claim to see it, you know. And apparently, there's so many different ways of interpreting what really happened. Like, this was a girl that was raped and killed. This was a girl that was run over. There's all sorts of stories involving her.
Right.
But when I was a kid, I was told that there was a girl who committed suicide on that tree.
Wow.
And she's the one who's been haunting that area. And so I put a twist on that, and I said, instead of making it one girl, I'll make them triplets. 3 schoolgirls who hang themselves on that tree. And he gets really, really creepy. Um, so what I wanted to do is
You
write
double
about
down.
things. Yeah,
You double
exactly.
down on the story,
Oh, totally. Yeah,
or doubled
and
up.
doubled up. Yeah, like what would scare me, right? Like
Yeah.
this book is about my own fears. I'm like, 'cause I don't get scared easily. So it's like, okay, if I'm going to do this, it's like I have to creep myself out, right? And so it's funny because I wrote that script and I sent it to Noel. Dude emails me at 5 in the morning, right, and sends me the picture, and I'm like, this is scary. Okay, like even I'm scared of my own book. But so in a nutshell, that's Dreamwalker for you. Um, so on the website, in the past 4 days, the sales have been incredible. Like
That's incredible, man.
we're
That's
almost sold
incredible.
out.
Man,
So
you know how many independent creators that would love to be able to say that.
I know, right? I'm thinking that, yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, God, well, how blessed I was,
Yeah.
for this to happen. And I haven't even started the marketing campaign, like the publicity campaign yet. It's
Yeah.
already
You have to make more books.
yeah,
Second printing,
exactly.
third printing, fourth printing.
Oh, hell yeah, And so I want to thank you to everybody out there who's been supporting us and will support us. Is really, really grateful. This book just came out of nowhere. Um, so the GMA network, which is the biggest network in the Philippines,
Hmm.
just put this kind of book on the front page of their site this
Oh,
morning.
excellent, excellent. That's
So it's
great.
just like, wow.
So
I
they're
mean,
supporting you too.
yeah, 'cause can you imagine Disney like reaching out and helping an independent creator like this? I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah.
it's
What if
insane,
what
right?
if they
Yeah.
say, "Hey, Mr. Sutton, your comic book is taking off. Let's do a live action show with Kate Valdez." What happens to hey, work for us?
I know. It's like,
How convenient.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and the well works for them as well. So
Yeah,
it's
there you
just,
go.
it's just
Yeah.
amazing. And so, geekositymag.com, we ran an article on this. I have to scoop myself, dude, which is weird, right? Uh,
Well, you got some writers on your website as well.
yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
have them do a little work.
Yeah, well, this got 9,000 shares on our
Oh wow,
site.
excellent,
So it's like
excellent,
MCU level, like bomb
nice.
level. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, wow, okay, that's amazing. I will say this. I mean, I can't go into details. Um, but I will have some big news about Dreamwalker. Sometime
Good,
this year. I won't be scooping it. It'll be Deadline that'll scoop it just to show you how big this news will be.
excellent, excellent. That's
Yeah.
really excellent. I'm so excited for you, Mikey.
Thank you.
That
Thank you
I'm
so
glad that
much.
the whole comic book is taking off, and
Yeah.
you're just scratching the surface. So as you've already, of course, you know where your story's going. You wrote the whole
Yeah.
script. What's the question I want to ask you about Dreamwalker is what is after everything's said and done, what do you think is success to you looks like as far as just
Mm.
trying to get your your vision of the comic book out there?
I think as long as we develop a regular following, I'll be happy. I'm not expecting like grandiose things. I mean, I'm very grateful with what we have already with the following that we're picking up. Um, I'm really excited to get all the feedback when the comic books arrive, with the people who purchased it and to hear
Mm-hmm.
what they think. It's very exciting to me. Um, it's I've been a comic book fan since 1978, and I dreamed of having my own book when I was 10 years old. 44 years later, I got my book.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
Yes.
did. So go to Second Street or Second Skin Comics, should I say?
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
It's right out the number second
Yeah.
skin as in skin, my skin comics.com.
Mm.
And there you can pre-order your number one issue of Dreamwalker. And you got a
Thank
couple
you.
of variants there too. You have the is that the 1 in 25 is the
Yeah.
version,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yep.
you have the cover B by Natalie Sanders, which is and tell me, you were telling me the inspiration
Mm.
for all this before we hit the record button. So
Sure.
I'll let you take off there. Give me the
Yeah.
inspiration for the cover B because I really like the style of this art as well.
Oh yeah, Nellie Sanders is an amazing artist. When I was told that she'll be doing the variant, I was thrilled. You may have seen her variant covers for Harley Quinn and other big DC and Marvel, I believe,
Hmm.
characters. For her to do an indie like Maya is I'm just totally thrilled. But the cover is a homage to the first appearance of Swamp Thing, from
Okay.
House of Secrets. Um, and what's really interesting is that Noel Leon Flores, my regular artist,
Hmm.
is a huge fan of Bernie Wrightson, who drew the original. And she had no idea of this. So when she chose that Swamp Thing cover by Bernie Wrightson, I totally freaked out. Because
That's
you want to
excellent.
talk stars aligning, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and a synchronicity.
exactly, It's like,
Yeah,
of all the covers to choose, he chose the one that inspired my artist. So it's
that's
just,
excellent. That's awesome.
it doesn't get any better than that.
So everyone go right now to secondskincomics.com. That's second, the number second, written out. Skin, as in my skin, comics.com, and go order your issue of Dreamwalker number one before it's sold out. We're getting pretty close, huh?
Yeah, getting pretty close. Yeah, to the first printing. Yeah, the variants have just come out, so they're still there.
Okay. Very good.
I'll
Very good.
definitely get
Very
them
good.
too as well.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And I can't not have you on the show and not talk a little bit about breaking a pop culture scoop,
Of
Marvel,
course, of
DC,
course.
Star Wars news.
Oh
I
hell
mean,
yeah!
come on, it's the headline world that we live in. I got to take advantage of you being
Of
back on the
course,
show,
yeah.
and let's talk about, you are known for scooping the Spider-Man, the Spider-Gate,
Yep, yep,
debunking the Spider-Gate fiasco.
yep.
And I would say to you as a professional observer of the market, the pop culture market, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, whatever, anything's transform, anything that's culture, right? Anything that's nerd culture or pop culture or
Hmm.
even music wise. When you have our favorite topic, a company like DC,
Yeah.
like Warner Brothers, okay,
Oh god, yeah.
and they're in the same market with other giants as Disney and Lucasfilm, Marvel, stuff like that, and they see projects like Spider-Man: No Way Home doing $1 billion with a big B, okay.
Hmm.
Um, the Book of Boba Fett like being the topic of every
Yeah.
every time you open up your Instagram or your Facebook. I mean, the Mandalorian, Boba Fett's over everywhere. And what at what point does a company say, you know what, maybe this fan service stuff will work out for us?
You
You
would
know what I
think,
mean?
right? You would think.
You would think,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Unfortunately
And I
for
know you talk a lot.
DC.
You talk a lot about this on Sill's on Sil Abdul's
Yeah.
on Sil Abdul's Inc. YouTube channel. And shouts out to Sil, and he made me a bot, so I'm an official bot in there. Sometimes I'll be deleting people's comments.
Well, it's really unfortunate the way Warner Bros. Is being held, which is why there'll be a turnover in April when Discovery takes over. A lot of the people on the executive board, which we call the clown table over on social, they're going to be gone. Nobody can be happy with their performance, and they
No,
seem to they take pleasure. They take pleasure in pissing fans off. It seems like, right?
I don't understand. I
It's weird.
guess at a point, I just let it burn. Let the building burn. Mentality.
Well, then again, it's kind of appropriate, dude, because it's a company that owns Bizarro, and I think they are in Bizarro world where everything is backwards.
Ah, man, we just wish for more. Even though for me personally, I like
Yeah,
Peacemaker makes me laugh.
yeah.
And I really wanted to hate it. I want like the first half hour when I just was like, I hate this freaking character, but I just busted out laughing. And I was like, okay, I'm here for this.
The first
Because
episode was John Cena's hilarious. I mean,
yeah,
he is hysterical.
yeah,
But you would think that a company would give the fans what they want,
yeah. I mean,
right?
what are we in? And it's like if I go to McDonald's and I say, I want a cheeseburger, and I say, well, here's a McRib instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Or
no, I
here's
want a
here's a
cheeseburger.
here's a
No,
veggie.
you're gonna want this McRib.
Yeah.
Trust me, we've worked really hard on this McRib, so this is what we're gonna give you, okay? But no, I just want a cheeseburger, maybe two. No. I could give you another McRib, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the mentality. It's kind of like,
It is totally. Well, that's where I got Hamada burgers from.
yes,
We can't give you a
yes,
Snyder steak. We'll give you a Hamada
yes.
burger instead.
So I had a co-host on my show. Tarek, you remember Tarek? He was one of my
Yeah,
co-hosts on the show,
yeah.
and he was trying to defend Walter Hamada. Um, and I
Kind of hard to
and
do.
more not. He just didn't know, like, I guess, the history or whatever.
Yeah.
And not to stop digging a hole back in an old grave. I mean, for anybody who's just ignorant on whatever everything, all the ongoings that Walter Hamada had been behind.
Mm-hmm.
But Tarek's position was that he didn't take over till a certain time, and already the Justice League and all that stuff happened already. I don't know if I'm correct or not,
I
or he
believe
was
something
correct in his assessment.
Kevin Shihara, I think was the one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So that usually that's the Justice League is the bone of contention. So for anybody who doesn't explain why is Walter Hamada the bane of the DC fans' existence?
Well, yeah. There's been so many reasons. Number one is the fact
Hmm.
that he didn't want to get the Snyder Cut made.
There you go.
That was actually forced on him by AT&T.
Hmm.
He didn't want to He didn't want to pursue the Snyderverse at all,
In
which
other
is
words,
why we're still in
his
this.
bosses made him do stuff for the fans. Wow.
Well, yeah, I know, right? Like AT&T had to go in and say, no, you're doing this
Wow.
for HBO Max, and they didn't want Toby Emmerich, who's the head honcho over there for now. He won't be
Mm.
won't be after the merger. Um, was also against the Snyderverse, and it's funny because when I scooped I was the one who scooped the Snyder cut. I
Right.
said it's going to be on
It's
HBO
happening.
Max.
It exists.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
And I said in my original story that these people at Warner, even though they did not want to do this, it was
Hmm.
AT&T who wanted, they'll take credit for it. They're gonna make a toast and everything. And sure enough, after it was announced, they took credit for it, right? And
Wow.
like no, they're,
It was
they're gonna,
great. Yes.
yeah,
Win
they're
for
gonna,
us. Go
yeah,
team.
exactly. Yeah, they're gonna say that, yeah, thank you to the fans. They're gonna go back to their office and drink their Alka-Seltzer, okay? Because you know they didn't want to do this,
Right.
and
Right. I mean,
sure enough, I mean,
it still continues to this day. I
yeah,
mean, we have this. This actually, you shared this link with me. I'm gonna share it with everyone here. It's on
yeah,
CBR.com.
yep,
The Flash star cast out on Ben Affleck's
yeah,
DCEU Batman exit because apparently he had some article interview where he said some certain things about his time doing the
hmm
Justice League and his take on IPs and a bunch of other stuff. I'll let anybody who really wants to dig deep into that
yeah.
go look it up themselves. But um, how do you feel? How do you feel? I mean, do we have do you think Mr. Affleck still has a future
Yeah, he
with the
does.
IP?
He
Yeah.
does. He does.
Okay.
I mean, actors say things that you just can't really believe. You know what I mean? Look at Andrew Garfield. How many times he lied that he was in
Right.
Spider-Man: No Way Home? I had to run article after article saying he's lying, and
Right.
sure enough, he was.
I wanted to get the whole ha ha ha
Yeah,
image that
yeah,
that
it's
he shared
great.
here on the
Um,
screen here.
Ben Affleck's gonna come back when Zack Snyder comes back. And that's just basically what's really going on. And Ezra knows this, which is why he's,
He's doubling
put
down.
a,
Here's that word
yeah,
again.
that word again, exactly. And I love Ezra because he's been debunking all the rumors this whole time, right? Like the whole erasing the Snyderverse thing that came up, and and Ezra is saying nope, it's not going to get erased. And it's funny because that erasing the Snyderverse rumor started with me. I started that thing over a year ago,
Hmm.
but I changed it after a month when I was told the Flash
Right.
script got changed.
It was evolving. Yeah.
It was evolving, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But then all of a sudden, other scoopers started, claiming it was new news, right? And
Right.
then starting with Grace Randolph, I won't go into any more detail, but she was the one who said that. And I said, "Wait a minute, this scoop is very familiar because I was the one who scooped this."
Yep.
And I said it changed. And Ezra Miller immediately debunked it. Goes,
Yep.
nope, it's not gonna get erased. But yet
But they
people
still
still don't believe it for some
they
reason.
still keep running with it. They still kept running with it.
Yeah, they still keep running it,
Yeah.
exactly. And I just like the one person on my site that is Ezra Miller. I can't think of a better person to go out there and start debunking all this
Yeah.
stuff.
There you
Um,
go. And it doesn't get much better than that.
yeah, it's a
Um.
negotiation, boy. I mean, of course you say you're not gonna do this anymore, and then you get down to the negotiation table and you ask for more money. It's how it
Yeah.
works, dude.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Who's not gonna get a check? You know, especially if it's something they like to do,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
it's gonna be a favorable situation in their favor. Like a work
mhm.
situation. You know, where
Yeah,
they
'cause I
call the
got
shots more, and they do what they want.
yep. I
Creative
got a lot of
control.
I got a lot of flack for saying that Ben Affleck could be in Batgirl, right? Because he said, "Well, the Flash is my last." Yeah, but Ezra Miller's like laughing his ass off right now.
Yeah.
So who are you gonna believe, right?
True. So I really hope, because we've talked about it between me and you,
Yeah,
Leslie Grace, who is the actress that's going to be playing Batgirl. I
she's
really like,
great. Yeah,
yeah, she's a really great person. She's a Latina superstar in her own right. She sings a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
Latina pop music, bachata music, and stuff like that.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and I really hope the Batgirl project goes well for her.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
I think she's very well cast in that role. I think she's perfect.
Now there's let's get finishing up with the DC stuff. The
Yeah,
Batman movie. You already reported on
yeah,
geekositymag.com that
yeah,
the early viewing reports are starting to come in a little
yeah.
bit. The early early takes on what the version of the movie they saw, because it could always get edited, right? Or changed, or is it still is March? We got a March release date. I don't think that's time for
Yeah,
no
it's
reshoots.
well, there's a 4-hour version and there's a 3-hour
Holy
version. Yeah,
moly!
there's a 4-hour version,
Oh,
which actually troubled me because I was like, 4
4
hours of Batman?
hours.
It just doesn't sound like
Dang,
a
I like I have a weird Batman thing. I like
yeah,
Batman a lot, but dang, 4 hour movie.
4 hours for I could like, the standard cut has so many characters in it, like, yeah, of course, you have to make it 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
You have all those different arcs in there, okay?
Right.
But
Right.
the Batman is basically it's a gangster film. I mean, unless you have a movie that's Oscar worthy like The Godfather, does it really
Yeah.
warrant 4 hours?
Right.
Um, so I've been saying some kind of negative things about just kinda, like, hold your expectations in. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
good film,
You
I'm
gotta
sure
call it the
it'll
way
be
you see it, right?
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and what I was seeing is Christopher Nolan light,
Mhm.
I really wanted to see, a different Batman. I didn't want to see the grounded Batman again. We had Nolan do that already, he did it perfectly, and I wanted to see Man-Bat, I wanted to see Clayface, I wanna see all
Mhm.
these outrageous villains he
Yeah,
has
because
that
we
we've
haven't
never
seen in
seen
live
before.
action yet. Yeah.
Yeah! Like, where's Clayface? Been, like, over 30 years of Batman movies and no Clayface, right? Look how cool that character is. You can make a dark Clayface movie, you know what I mean? Um, so I've been telling people to keep their expectations in, because what I've been hearing is that the film is gonna be slow. And slow movies, 3-hour films don't make $1 billion, I'm sorry. If you're gonna do
No,
a
they're not gonna see the big B. I don't think
no, no.
so.
Like,
I
the Joker's not 3 hours long, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. But I would say this. I would say probably on a worldwide
Yeah.
stage, there's two comic book characters who I don't care what culture you're from, you know who they are.
Yeah,
And that
yep,
is
yep.
Batman and
It's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Uh,
exactly,
yeah.
yeah. But look what a crowd pleaser Spider-Man: No Way Home was. I mean, you wanted to see it over and over again.
Mhm.
Um, so I keep arguing this. This film is probably good, but is it worth watching over and over and over again? Are you gonna sit through a film that's 3 hours long, multiple times in the theater, which is gonna be slow? And the review that we discussed, this
Mhm.
guy is saying it's complex. Uh, Now, artistically, great, but commercially, I don't know. The audiences like
Yeah.
complex movies, dude, because
What else has been out there that's been complex? I think maybe
Eternals,
something like Eternals,
Eternals,
yeah?
which was,
Um
yeah, not well received, right? I mean, it got
yeah.
polarizing at least.
Yeah. What
People
else
like that
is
film better on Disney Plus. They like it better now than they did when
Mhm.
it came out.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not worried about the artistic value of the film.
Mhm.
I'm just saying rein in those box office expectations because
Yeah.
everybody's saying $1 billion and
This
all
is
this.
not the Christopher
Oh,
Nolan Batman or even Tim
exactly,
Burton's Batman for that matter or anything.
exactly.
No Biff Bam Boom
Yeah, no,
window
no, yeah,
word balloons, none of that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Joker's not in it. Well,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
sort of. He's
mm,
apparently rumored to be in, but not a big role. Yeah,
interesting.
can't. But The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger made The Dark Knight.
Right.
That film blew up because of him. Not because of Christian Bale. It's with Heath Ledger with an incredible performance and rest in peace. Um, but I don't think the Batman has that kind of fuel injection. You know what I mean?
Do you think that that's the end game for it? Did Discovery's just like, sure, let it burn. That way when we come
Yeah,
in,
I
they're like,
feel.
okay, we're doing this.
Yeah, well, they can't do anything right now. I mean, until the
Right.
merger happens. So, um, a lot of the things that we're seeing right now are not going to last anyway. Because once the merger goes through, the CW is being sold. Okay,
Right.
so those shows,
Wow.
if they stick around, are going to end up on HBO Max. They're
Hmm.
going to get rebooted. I'm told that those shows will get rebooted. What Discovery wants to do
Hmm.
is to put everything in the same universe for the most part, like what Marvel Studios does.
But I mean, Superman and Lois kind of lives on HBO Max too as well as
Yeah, yeah,
CW right now.
yeah. So you're gonna see some kind of crisis thing happen probably
Well,
which will link them to their cinematic counterparts.
Well, they've already done that for
Yeah,
fun,
exactly.
you
Yeah,
know.
the
So
little Final Crisis. There you go.
yeah, you know,
So, um,
you know what? There you go. There's a comic book
right,
called like that called that
yeah,
too.
there's gonna be some kind of interconnectedness
Mm.
there, maybe on a multiverse level, or who knows what they're gonna do.
Here,
But I
so
just
like delve into a little bit of TiVo's realm. Is that a good spec? Some
yeah,
Final
there you go.
Crisis
It's a good
comics.
spec. Yeah, yeah. I think you should invest in Final Crisis right
Yeah,
now.
let's get the
Actually,
whole run. Just buy the whole run,
just
just
get
in
the whole. There you
case.
go.
Yeah, it can't be more than cover price in a dollar bin somewhere. You know, $2 bin,
Yes,
$3
I think
bin.
I might even have it myself somewhere. I don't know.
I know. I think there's a first appearance of somebody, maybe Blue Beetle or something. I don't know. I think there was something.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Jaime Reyes Blue
there's.
Beetle. Yeah, that's my
Yeah. I think
scoop too.
that
I
was probably
scooped
a little
that
10
a year
$20.
ago.
That was your scoop too. So continuing about all Mikey Sutton's greatest hits, right? Madam Web, which you originally
Yeah.
scooped. We have breaking news today on
Yeah.
Deadline.com and a bunch of other outlets as well that
Mhm.
Dakota Johnson is tapped to play that character finally
Oh
in
yeah.
some kind of weird Sony Pictures universe. It's not so weird, right? I mean, you've talked about this and many times
Yeah.
on multiple shows. And what do you think? You like the casting? Do you like this
I
casting,
I
or
love
you
the
think?
casting, and a couple of weeks ago I said they were going to Marissa Tomei Madam Web, meaning that they're going to hire a younger, hotter actress to play who was originally an old lady in the
Right,
comic book.
right. It wasn't sexy at all,
Yeah.
in the comic book
Oh
anyway.
god, yeah, because
Yeah,
originally this Madam Web thing, people were just laughing at like, please no, no, no Madam Web. But now, oh, Dakota
right.
Johnson, oh hell yeah, come on,
Yeah, yeah,
50
sure.
Shades of Spider-Man, right?
50 Shades of Spider-Man. Sure, why not?
Why not? Um, so a little scoop for
Hmm.
exclusively to your show.
Oh, exclusive, exclusive. I don't got
Yeah.
no sound. I don't got no sounds or any video to announce anything. So go ahead and drop it.
Imagine the loud bang.
No, yeah, boom. There we
There
go.
you go. Exclusive to Geek Culture Congress. Madam Web will be the bridge between the MCU and the Sony, whatever they want to call it these days, Sony Spider-Man verse. Um, she'll be the bridge to bring those characters back and forth from their world to the MCU, which
Big,
is how
big.
Venom, um, will go. Let's say if they want to have Andrew Garfield, theoretically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
they want to have Venom enter Andrew Garfield's universe. It'll be Madam Web will do the transporting. She'll be the Rainbow Bridge. You can go
Okay. Yeah.
from that to the other. There's gonna be a lot of crossing over between MCU and the Sony verse. I can't remember
So they're doubling down. They're
yeah,
they're they're partnering up.
putting
They're
up.
doing the do together.
Yeah, that's what $1 billion will do. You know what I mean? $1 billion
Yeah.
during the pandemic. Oh hell
But-
yeah! But it's so funny
Sure. Why
though
not?
that see Sony knows how to
Hmm.
play the game, but Warner
Right.
Brothers is still not giving anything to their fans, right? Like, no, you don't want
Yeah.
Cavill. Here's J.J. Abrams Superman instead, and they can't even write the script to the J.J. Superman. Like, where's the script? You know?
Yeah. Do you think that deal is gonna going back to DC? Do you think that deal is gonna go away with the merger, or what do you think?
No, they'll have to honor it. JJ has
I see
to do something. Look,
something.
I wrote I wrote Dreamwalker 1 and 2 with no payment
Hmm.
whatsoever. You gave me $500 million, dude. I'll write you everything you want. You know what I mean? Like, what is JJ doing? I'm like, it's just like we laugh at this all the time because we haven't seen one single JJ project yet, and it's been years now since he signed that deal. You know,
um,
and here's DC. I mean, here's Marvel Studios and Sony, like going like gangbusters right now. Like, let's discuss this. I think your viewers will love this.
yeah,
Um, Blade is going to meet Morbius. They're going to fight.
that's happening. Yeah.
That's happening. That is definitely going to happen. I say it right now. You can mark my words. Right on your calendar. I said it on this day. Blade Morbius. They're going to fight. You're going to have two
Excellent.
Oscar winners going at it. Okay. Um, I know us as fans, we see the vampire hunter going after the vampire, right? To
Right.
Kevin Feige's eyes, he sees Oscar winner meets multi-Oscar winner. That's what he sees. Okay, and he sees the acting fireworks that's going to explode when you have those two actors going off each other. That's going to be $1 billion movie. No, don't doubt in my mind that Blade Morbius will be $1 billion film. You put
Billions
the
and
right
billions of
director on there,
dollars.
dude. That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
insane, right?
Yeah.
With the
I see
acting
it happening.
fireworks, I mean,
Yeah.
um, now here's the deal. The reason why this Sony Disney deal is more important than ever is because Morbius is going to join the Midnight Suns.
Hmm.
So you're going to have Blade, Morbius, Norman Reedus, Ghost Rider, okay, Moon Knight.
Are you about 85% sure that's happening, or
uh,
about 90% sure that's
90%
happening?
sure, 90%
Wow,
sure.
that's a big, a very
Huge.
small margin of error.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have John Bernthal, the Punisher, and Midnight Suns. Who is not going to watch this movie, dude? I mean, that's like the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's gonna be watching it, you know. And so this deal is a lot bigger than people realize because people are so focused on Tom Holland staying in the
Hmm.
MCU. It's beyond Tom Holland now. It's beyond him, and
Wow,
they're gonna go back and forth using each other's characters. They know that they have the potential to make billions.
they're just gonna run with it, make
They
the
run
money.
with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm all here for it. I'm really excited. So
Yeah.
get through a little bit of spec in that Amazing Spider-Man number two, 210, first appearance of Madam Web.
There
You
you
may want
go.
to pick that up.
Oh, yeah, the Julia Carpenter version as well.
Yeah, there you
Because
go.
that's the one
Yeah.
that Dakota Johnson will be is a Julia
Okay,
Carpenter.
okay. That's a more recent one, I believe, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. So from that scoop to recent breaking news that you actually put
Yeah,
on geekositymag.com. I invite
yeah.
everyone to go check out geekositymag.com
Thank you.
so they can stay on task with all your scoops and all the breaking news that you bring out. And it was
Yeah.
recent, and everybody's been running with us too as well.
Mhm.
I've seen it. Our friend and Everything Always there on YouTube. The only
Oh,
person who credited me for properly for the Secret Wars Jim Shooter interview recording.
that
Should I
was a
say?
great recording. That went viral too, but congratulations
It
on that,
did.
by the way.
Thank you very much. I was just at the right place at the right time,
Yeah,
you know.
perfect
And
timing,
then well, I saw some guys were like, "Oh, he's said that before." And I was like, "Well, nobody recorded it."
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man will have a Spider-Girl daughter, and
Yeah,
that is the for anybody who doesn't know, that's a Spider-Girl from another universe or
yeah.
another. Yeah. So, what do you think that we're going to maybe like you scooped the Spider-Man
Mhm,
movie
mhm.
now. We already know that they're working on a Spider-Woman movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, do you think we're gonna get the Spider-Woman movie? Okay, we're talking about
Yeah.
Spider Gwen, Spider Girl, Jessica Drew. The
Hmm.
$1 billion the limit, or what do you think,
You know what?
Mikey?
That's very possible. It depends on how well Spider-Woman does, Olivia Wilde's movie. That's
That's
very
my
possible.
wild speculation for
That's
today.
actually a great speculation. Here's a comic book that's like that. I get it, just because
Yeah,
that sounds too that's too good of an idea to turn down.
yeah. I say why not?
What
With the multiverse, anything's possible,
anything's
right?
possible, exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So Spider-Girl is Mayday Parker, the daughter of Peter Parker
Mhm.
and Mary Jane. And
Right.
so they kind of left it in the dark in Spider-Man: No Way Home about where Kirsten Dunst is right now, right?
Right.
You don't really know what their status is in his world, and they did it for a reason. They're gonna drop a bomb that they have a Spider Girl daughter,
Yeah.
and it's Maiden
And
Parker. Yeah.
there's a thing that I didn't see you actually write about it, but
Mm.
something I brought up in the month in my when I dropped this the news about you this scoop that you broke this
Uh-huh.
on the audio podcast is I said that she's also a mutant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think they're gonna touch that or play around with that little tidbit there as they start introducing the mutants to the MCU?
I think it's very possible, with the way that Sony and Disney have been, associating themselves with each other lately. They're practically a married couple by now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Sony and Disney. I mean,
Right.
they've gotten along so well, and money brings people together. So
They're cashing checks.
they're
It's all
cashing
good.
checks, dude. They're going to the bank.
Long as they're cash positive,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good time at the movies for everybody.
And believe it or not, Sony does it. It means a lot to them, dude. When their films are acclaimed, it's not just about money. There is a certain pride
Mhm.
in when their films are well received. Which is why look, they didn't. Amazing Spider-Man 3 didn't happen. I know the second one
Right.
was below expectations. It still did
Right.
okay, but they decided not to go through with it because again, it wasn't that well received. It got a lot of critics hated the
Right.
film, and so there is a issue of pride there, and they want their films to be good. Sometimes they don't do that, but they do want their films to be liked, and so that's a big part of the relationship that people don't talk about. That Marvel Studios makes Sony better.
There you go. This is why outsource it to other people when you can outsource it to the source?
Oh yeah, and why do it
You know?
yourself when you have these geniuses,
Yeah.
across the
Exactly.
street that can
Yeah.
do it better than you can? So
Yeah. It just makes sense,
yeah,
right? Mikey Sutton, thank you so
thank
much for
you.
being
Love being
on the
here.
show, for taking time out of your
Oh
day.
hell yeah,
I know you're super busy now with everything
crazy,
going on,
crazy.
and I appreciate your time hanging out with
Thank you.
our very humble show here that we do over here in Tampa, Florida. And
Great, thank you.
I no, thank you so much for coming on the
Yeah.
show. I wish you great
You
success
too,
with
man.
Dreamwalker. I'm going to share it one more time for everybody. Go order your copy now of Dreamwalker #1. Go to second, like the number second, spell it out, skin, like my skin, comics.com, and go get your issue of Dreamwalker #1, written by none other than Mikey Sutton. And if they want to keep up with your
Yeah.
scoops, geekositymag.com worldwide.
Thank you so much. I love being here, and I'll be here. I'll be on here again when you invite me.
Yes. Well, we got something going
All
on,
right.
and we're probably when you're gonna have another Dreamwalker big announcement. Hint, hint. We'll
Oh
get
yeah,
you back on
there
here.
will be sometime this year. There will be.
Excellent. Thanks so
All
much.
right.
Hopefully, I'll get to catch you on Sid's show.
Okay.
Sometimes he has me pop in there with him
Yeah,
as
we'll
well, and
get
I
you on there
appreciate
again.
you
It was
guys
fun.
having me on
It
there.
was fun having you there. That was a blast.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. Hopefully, I could come back. And of course, we enjoy you on everything you do on the other channels as well. And thank you so much for hanging
All right,
out with
you
us
too.
here. And we will stay in contact.
Of course, as always. All right, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
You take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.